Hi, I'm Tracy J. Pierce.
And I'm Christina Shams.
Welcome to Woman's Valentine's Day special, a roundtable discussion that talks about relationships, men versus women. We have a great show lined up for you, so please stay tuned.
And before we begin, I'd like to introduce our guests. Over here, on the men's side, Stan Milburn, KDEX TV station manager. And to his left, Jeff Chavez, actor and father of two. And to my left, on the women's side, Erica Wagner, writer. Now, the first question we're going to start out with our discussion is, I want to pose it to the men first.
Okay.
What do you think women are looking for in a man? And we will confirm or not confirm.
Well, first of all, I think women are looking for someone to listen to them and also trust and honesty.
Yes.
And those are the three things that I think a woman is looking for in a man.
I agree with that.
I think women are looking for stability, someone that can be their friend, and I don't know, like a man.
Right. And I would expand on the first thing you said. I mean, women, I think, want somebody to be attentive to them. So it's not, just that we want, someone just to listen to us, but also be attentive and, care about us and share our life with. So I agree with that.
I agree.
So we were right, or?
Yeah, I think you guys are right on.
You answered very well.
Yeah.
Thank
One
you.
thing I would like to add
go ahead.
about what we're looking for is someone to take us out. It's not that you have to spend a whole bunch of money, but what is it with men that they have a tendency to take you out on dates, and then you reach a certain point in the relationship,
And you
then
sit on the couch.
And you sit on the couch.
Yes.
Don't get
That's
me wrong.
right.
I love nights on the couch,
Right.
but not every night. I understand money's tight or whatever, but you can go out and do things and be creative. Picnics,
Right.
just driving in the car, stuff like that, talking. Why do men do that?
Well, I personally think that when a man stopped doing what he started off in the relationship doing, well, he wasn't being himself in the beginning. That's
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
me. I always have loved going to the movies, spending quality time with family, and I do that right today. I have not stopped, and it's like basically every weekend, I'm doing things with the family. That's just something that I always have loved doing. So it depends on what type of person you're with, because some guys, they would start off a relationship just like girls. When you start off a relationship, well, basically, you're doing whatever it takes to
Get that person's
get that
interest.
person,
Right.
to get
Right.
that person's
Right.
interest.
But what about in a situation where you start off as friends? I guess friends, you went out, you did everything together, and then the romantic aspect came into play, and everything switched 180 on its head.
Well, there's a certain complacency and getting used to somebody, and like you said, being more yourself. I mean, at first you're trying to impress, and like a peacock, that kind of thing. And then it just gets, time builds up, and you just become more yourself and more lazy and not as into that person as you were.
And that's something I asked a friend of mine, a male friend of mine. I said, why is that? And the same question that we had. And he said, well, men, like you said, are usually themselves around other men. So he said, if you want to know how your man really is in real life, you should see how he is around his friends. Because eventually after the sugar's, gone
Right.
and, the fairy tale's over, he will revert back to that personality.
That is true. I agree with that.
And I would like to just put a little bit of piggyback onto the end of that. I think thoughtfulness. Women love to be thought of. I've been in a relationship for many years, and recently, just out of nowhere, my husband brought me roses just because.
Yeah.
And he has never done that before. And just out of nowhere and what it said to me was, during that day, I occupied some of his thought space. And that meant so much to me. It was 3 beautiful roses. It didn't even have to be a dozen.
Exactly.
It's just the idea that he thought of me enough to stop,
Right.
interrupt his work schedule, day, whatever, and got me roses. So I think one of the things that women want, we definitely want you to think about us.
Right.
In a small way, like I believe Erica said, if you just take me to Brahms and buy me an ice cream cone, The fact is, it's quality time, and you're taking time to think about me.
Yeah.
And
That's
we love
paramount.
that surprise. The
Yes.
element of surprise
Yeah.
is great, where we don't have to tell you what we want, but you just think of something.
Absolutely.
And that's so special to
Absolutely.
us.
I have a good question. We were talking about relationships. Is it worth losing a friendship after a relationship? Say, for instance, a relationship was established. The relationship is no longer. Do you think it's a good idea to maintain a friendship?
Well, let me be the first to answer that. I think that it depends on who that person is and how you both went your separate ways. Because a relationship could end off on a mutual agreement, and if it's a mutual agreement, then yes, you can remain friends. I mean, I have, past relationships that are still present relationships, and they're better present relationships than the past. I mean, we were like a couple, but now we're like brothers and sisters.
Wow.
But also, I had a relationship from the past that is just total chaos from the moment we separated up until right now. It's like there's no way I could be this person's friend because this person would go all out her way to bring me down, no matter what it takes.
Right. You have to have a mutual split.
Exactly.
It can't be one like still likes someone pretending to be friends. It has to just be okay.
Sure.
It didn't work out, and be mature and go your separate ways. Because
Sure.
you're always going to have that one that always wants the romance back, and be it male or female.
Right.
And that's kind of sneaky.
But I think it's a great level, a demonstration of maturity when you can separate
It's
and
true.
still see one another in the mall or whatever and still have a kind greeting or just a simple hello.
Maturity is the key, I
I
think.
think it's a great level of maturity.
True indeed.
And now,
Ladies?
I have a question for you. I mean, you maintained this relationship with a past person that you went out with, but is your current girlfriend or wife or whoever, do they get jealous knowing that you are still friends?
No, to be honest with you, they are just like this. I mean, for the simple fact, they respect each other.
Gotcha.
And, and it's like when you separate on a mutual agreement,
That's probably
no
the main
matter
thing,
what,
mutual.
Right.
I would say.
no matter what, that person will respect your relationship as much as you respect that person's relationship. That's just like, we all get along just like with family. I mean, we attend each other's family reunions the whole nine.
See, that's
right
a level of
today.
maturity that we were talking about.
And I think time has a lot to do with
Yes.
it. Let's say
Oh,
it's 3 years down the road.
Yeah.
Naturally, if you're broke up, it's the four of you can go out to dinner.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because it's 3 years and that was a past relationship.
Sure.
Exactly.
Sure.
It's every time when it comes to being friends, it's taken
Time.
time. It's taken like 3 years.
Right.
And I don't expect relationships to take any less than that, because it's just you need to move on.
That healing process.
You need that healing
involved.
problem, that process, and also it's just it completely you have to reconfigure your life.
Sure.
When you let someone into your life where either you talk to them every day, you see them twice a
Yeah.
week, to stop thinking when you hear a song on the radio, you can't think of that person anymore. That takes time. So I think yes, friendship is available or is attainable, but only after time.